Philip talks on his video Take Two. It's about having fun. I was just thinking about human potential. And how come nobody reads Abraham Maslow? I mean, Abraham Maslow is a genius, and people don't read him. Read the Further Reaches of Human Nature. It's a great book, wonderful book. I also like poetry a lot too. I like Federico Garcia Lorca. Now, I'm not going to read any of his poems, but I love this guy. I remember going to Spain a couple of years ago, about 4 years ago actually, and I went to Granada, where Federico Garcia Lorca lived, and I have to say Federico Garcia Lorca. I'm probably not saying it correctly. Garcia. Got to say it like the way people say it in Spain. Federico Garcia Lorca. Anyway, I believe in reading and writing and doing all kind of things. But you know what? I love to write. I'm a writer, and I'm thinking about writing a book. Actually, I've been working on this project for God knows how many years. And I'm not really in a big, gigantic hurry, but I love to write. But one of the things I like to write about is human potential. And I think the real key to actualizing your potential is overcoming fear. Now, there are lots of things that we're afraid of. Things that we shouldn't be afraid of. You have to overcome those fears. It takes courage to actualize your potential, to be creative, to get out there and to do things. Like for me right now, making this video. I was nervous about doing this stuff at first. Putting up things on the internet, you start thinking about it like, oh my God, what are people going to think? You can't really worry about it. If people are going to think what they're going to think, and there's nothing you can do about that. But what you can do is express yourself. Expressing yourself becomes a habit. I'm going to make many videos in the future. And I'm going to keep putting them up there and saying what I have to say. As I think of different topics, that's what I'm going to do. Now, one thing I want to say is, I've been thinking about a lot of stuff. About religion, and the whole big debate between atheist and theist and all that sort of thing. And I actually have a problem with both sides, I mean, I'm somebody who, I'm not an atheist, I do believe in God. However, my idea of God probably would make me not very well liked by a lot of religious people, or as I like to put in quotation marks, religious people. Because I think a lot of people aren't very religious. I mean, there are a lot of people who go to church. There are a lot of people who pray. There are a lot of people who use the word God in every other breath. But to me, being religious isn't so much about that as much as it is about how you actually live your life. I'm not interested in those debates about things. The only problem I actually have with some of the things that people say is when people run around just generalizing, like every religious person is crazy. No, that's not true. And everybody who believes in God believes exactly the same thing. No. And I also have a problem with when people try to make religion into science. They present religious stories, and that's what they are, stories, as if they were actual scientific facts. Those are people I used to refer to those as the forensic people, the forensic religious people, the ones who are looking for Jesus's DNA or something like that, And they forget about the message of religion. Now, I grew up in a Christianity culture, so to speak. But I think every religion has something positive to say, and I think that there are very high values in every religion. I've studied other religions. I mean, I especially have studied a lot of Buddhism. I probably know more stuff about Buddhism than I do about Christianity. And I think that, the great spiritual leaders really had something important to say. And a lot of times that gets confused with a lot of other things that people do. Like when people do acts of terrorism, when people declare wars and claim that God, told them to do it and all that kind of stuff. I get a problem with all those things. I mean, I have a lot of problems with a lot of things, but I'm not interested in a debate. Because to me, it's not something I can debate. It's not science, and I'm not arguing it like a science thing, and I don't think anybody can. I don't think you can make atheism into some science thing, and I don't think you can make theism into a science thing. You know, belief, you can't make it into science. It is belief. You know, belief is belief and disbelief is disbelief, and that's it. Those are choices you make about something in reality. They're not science things. I think people can be good thinkers who are atheists, and I think people can be good thinkers who are believers. I don't think any of that stuff has any real effect on whether or not you're a good person or a bad person. A good person is someone who does good things, someone who makes a contribution to the society. If you're making a contribution in a positive way to the society that you live in, that's good. You make a positive contribution not only to the society that you live in, but to the world as a whole. That's what's good. That's what's positive, and that's what we should be encouraging. And I think the best way to make positive contributions is through creativity, through actualizing your potential as a human being. I believe in that. I mean, I've read a lot of Abraham Maslow's books and a lot of stuff in the human potential movement and things like that. You know, some of the stuff, some of the New Age people, I have some problems with some of them, but basically, I do believe in the message. I believe in the positive messages. I believe in the message of actualizing your potential, of reaching the highest level of you know, being that you can, being a positive person, being a helpful person, being a positive contributing member of society, you know, of a good society, because if you're in a bad society, of course, you don't want to be a positive contributing member to a bad society, like, you know, the Nazi thing or something. But basically, you know, I think that we all can do good things. And the keys are creativity and overcoming your fears. Overcoming the fear of simply being yourself and of expressing yourself. And basically, that's all I have to say for right now. And subscribe. I think it's over here, but there's a wall right here. But you know, if you look at when the video's up there, you know, I always see people pointing. There's subscribe over here. Yeah, where I'm pointing to, there's gonna be this yellow little tab that you press on, and you'll be notified when I put up another video. So that I would appreciate that, and you can leave a comment if you want to, and rate the video. Hopefully I get positive ratings, but be honest. I mean, if you don't like it, then be honest. Say, look, 1 star or no stars. Or if you want to say something negative, like I don't agree with you, or, you know, I don't like that sweater you're wearing, you know, you can say that. Or if you want to say, well, Philip, I think you look very handsome. You're beautiful. Fine. I mean, I would appreciate that too. And that's all I have to say.